is hard to get for some immigrants who want to stay in the U.S. Benito Vasquez, 28, greets his daughter Lydia 4 after a long day at work in Madera, California, on February 18, 2013. Vasquez came to the United States illegally at age 14 and has worked in the fields ever since. Madera, California. At age 14, most kids are reading Shakespeare in English class or doing lab work in biology. Benito Vasquez was picking grapes and almonds in California's Central Valley. That was when he crossed the border from Mexico. He has worked in the fields ever since. He has never gone to school and cannot read or write in any language. Vasquez is an undocumented immigrant, someone who came to the United States without the proper paperwork. Vasquez is now 28. He is one of thousands who could be shut out of a big program to fix immigration. It grants work permits to people who came to this country illegally as children. The program would also mean they would not be thrown out of the country for 2 years. He and others like him are missing one requirement, a high school diploma. They can make it up by taking classes, but going back to school is hard to even imagine for someone like Vasquez. He works long hours, lives in an area far away from a big town, and has barely any schooling. Many people have already applied to the program, but they were the ones who did well in school, said Jesus Martinez. He is a consultant for the Immigrant Legal Resource Center in Fresno. A number of those who haven't applied have educational issues. Vasquez is still deciding whether to apply, but he would need to take English classes first. I'm thinking about it, maybe after work, in the evenings, he said. The program began last August. Since then, nearly 270,000 young immigrants are now able to work legally. In most states, they can get driver's licenses, but only 1/3 of the 1.3 million people who are allowed to apply have done so. The first people to apply tended to be those who went to college. The other immigrants might not know they are allowed to apply, or they may not want to come forward for fear of getting deported, sent out of the country. And the $465 application fee is a lot of money for a worker who makes just $7.25 an hour. The toughest part may be the diploma. Many of those who have not applied are farm workers. 1 in 3 has less than a 9th grade education. In the Central Valley, as many as half of the immigrants may need more schooling to apply to the program. Education was always a ticket out of the fields. Now it offers something even better, a 2-year work permit. But for some, that reward may be out of reach. In Madera, where Vasquez lives, the adult school offers English classes for Spanish speakers. For farm workers who live far from town, there are few options. Government money for adult education has dried up. There are not enough classes to go around. San Francisco's Immigrant Legal Resource Center is working in the Central Valley. It organizes legal workshops for farming communities in the countryside. Immigrants get matched with adult education programs. 2 of Vasquez's sisters attended a crowded workshop in Madera earlier this year. The resource center set it up. The sisters got free legal advice from lawyer Barbara Pinto. Angela Vasquez is a community college student who has been blind since birth Elvira Vasquez dropped out of high school after her son was born. The sisters were surprised when Pinto told them that their brother Benito might also be able to apply for deferred action. They thought his lack of an education would limit him. By mid-May, the sisters were well on their way to work permits and driver's licenses. And his wife Maria was inspired to get her GED. The General Education Development, GED, is equal to a high school diploma. It is for adults who were unable to finish high school. Benito's path is more uncertain. He has not yet registered at the adult school. It is hard to find the time for classes after a 10-hour workday. He operates tractors and other heavy machinery for his job in the grape fields, but he drives to work without a license. He fears being pulled over by the police. Still, he prefers to take his chances in the United States. "It's better here than in Mexico," he said in Spanish. "Every week I get a paycheck. There's more food. Everything's a little easier. If you need something, you just work. In Mexico, when you need something, there are no jobs."